see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code EARN to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code EARN to borrow up to $10,000. Use code EARN to borrow up to $10,000.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand, so shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey Sports Station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app. Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Pirates yesterday fell to the Atlanta Braves 6-3. That was also the final score from Friday's game. Third and final game of the series will be this afternoon at 1:35. It is Georgia native Bubba Chandler on the mound for the Pirates up against Bryce Elder for Atlanta. Coverage on the Fan begins at noon, presented by Keystone Custom Apparel, and that will precede the Pirates Insider Show with Jason Mackey at 12:35. Stanley Cup Finals last night in Game 3, Vegas, a 5-4 double overtime winner with Shea Theodore getting the game-winning goal for Vegas. More headlines, 937thefan.com. Right now, it's a Sunday morning with Jack Hillgrove.
Keeping you up to date, even on the weekend.
Did you hear that?
Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
So it's been a minute, Pittsburgh. It's been over like 2 weeks since we chatted. I was out all day yesterday, full disclosure. I indulged in some adult beverages yesterday. But unlike certain A-list country music artists, I'm not going to flake out on you. We're going to talk sports this morning until 10 o'clock right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. Look, a lot to be pissed about, a lot to be frustrated about this morning, and we can air those grievances together at 412-928-9370. If you were one of the thousands that spent a lot of money on tickets, and obviously what happened yesterday happened, and then what happened throughout the night happened, which was virtually zero rain on the North Shore, maybe a little bit around 10 o'clock. If you're upset about it, 412-928-9370. If you're more upset about the fact the Pirates potentially could get swept this afternoon, 412-928-9370. That's the more pressing issue this morning, is that the Pittsburgh Pirates, a team with an opportunity this weekend to prove really that they were a playoff potential player in the National League here in a couple of months, And they're going to have ample time to do that. And this isn't me poo-pooing on it because they, lost 2 to the Atlanta Braves this weekend on the road. But again, an opportunity to turn some heads, and they're not doing it quite yet. However, like I mentioned, I'm not ready to stick the nail in the proverbial playoff coffin for the Pirates just yet. There's a chance they could win today. You've got Skeens and Jones and Keller pitching this week against the Dodgers. And then the Marlins and the A's, are the next 2 series. There is still time here, folks, for the Pirates to truly prove, as we get into the dog days, that they are a team on the rise and a potential playoff contender in the NL. So again, disappointing. 6-3 losses twice, Friday and Saturday in Atlanta. But again, an opportunity to bounce back today. And if you're like me, 412-928-9370, if you're like me and you think, yeah, these last 2 games in Atlanta sucked and the Braves are obviously really good, but also think the Pirates, this doesn't put the nail in the playoff coffin, hit me up at 412-928-9370. If you disagree, 412-928-9370. We only have a couple hours this morning, so if you have Pirates takes, the phone lines are open for you all morning long at 412-928-9370. And as I mentioned, if you're waking up this morning a little bit frustrated because you had tickets to the Morgan Wallen concert, and obviously that show did not happen on Saturday, 412-928-9370. Again, back on a Sunday morning for the first time in a few weeks, a combination of me being away and the Pirates having a couple of, weeknight games and the Sunday afternoon Peacock game where we just haven't had an opportunity to chat. So I'm happy to be back with you. Happy to be back with Joel Nelson. Jolie, did you have Morgan Wallen tickets, or were you not in that crowd of disappointed folk last night?
I'm not too much of a concert goer, so if anything, I would be one of those people who would be out around the North Shore, probably just for the vibes and that and everything, but not so much the concert, and thank goodness, I guess.
Yeah, and as I sit here, it's the A block of the morning news on WTAE Channel 4. That's the top story, is that the concert was canceled yesterday. I didn't have tickets. I was down there all day. My girlfriend had tickets. My friends had tickets. I didn't know that I was going to get yesterday off until it was too late to actually, plan and buy tickets. But I fully anticipated you have a couple of beers and you just say to heck with it and just pull the trigger on a ticket. I had an opportunity to do that. Somebody backed out before the show was canceled, and obviously didn't have the opportunity to buy the ticket because the show got canceled at 1 o'clock yesterday, long before any potential weather was going to roll in, and none of it really did. Tell you what, I saw a tweet last night and I laughed at it, that Pittsburgh has not seen a larger villain since Sid Bream.
That's a really good tweet, whoever had that. Golly.
I forget where I saw it. I think it's somebody replied to somebody else, and I said, they said, Pittsburgh hasn't seen a bigger villain since Sid Bream, and I laughed.
Either that or Jake Arrieta, or Kyle Schwarber for that matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Those are a couple of good ones, too. But again, out and about last night, saw a couple of familiar faces. Crossed the way at a local establishment, Austin City Limits. Moments later, intern Dom. So I was running the Content Craig Gambit last night, saw a couple of friendly faces, hung out, and then went home and went to bed because a lot of people were upset in with yesterday's news. Again, 412-928-9370. The Pirates now 34-31. A team that just with the exception of the first couple of games of the season, right? I believe the Pirates were what? 2-4? No, they were 1-3. And they really haven't been under 500 since, but that's a team that's been like either right at 500, one above, or has just refused to fall below the Mendoza line, which is great, but also a team that's like refused to go more than 5 games above 500. This team a couple of days ago after the 5-1 win in Houston was 34-29. They were 24-20 after that home Rockies series and then got swept by the Phillies. And at one other point, 16-11 after they beat the Brewers 2 out of 3 on the road, 5 games above, and then the 4-game sweep at the hands of the St. Louis Cardinals back at the end of April. Again, a team that's so far refused to fall below 500 since Game 4 of the season, which is great. They're in all these ball games, but also a team that has refused to go more than 5 games above 500. And we're starting to get to the point in the Major League Baseball season where if you are a playoff team and a legit postseason contender, you know, I'd like to see a stretch where the Pirates are like 6, 7, 8 games above 500 and hovering there for a time being. And, you know, we haven't had the opportunity to speak with one another the last couple of weeks. And I don't think it really matters because whether I'm, you know, talking into this microphone or just watching these guys play baseball, it's not hard to look at the Pirates and come up with a reason, you know, why they haven't gotten to more than 5 games above 500. It's this bullpen. It is the bullpen being incapable of, I don't want to say shutting the door because they're incapable of that. They're incapable of far less situations. It's just a matter of like, at times this bullpen is just incapable of operating and being like a normal league average dictionary definition of a bullpen. And I think the thing that's so frustrating about this bullpen to me, Jolie, is that you just have random guys out of nowhere pop up and stink. Like we've seen stretches of Mason Montgomery be really good, and then he's the culprit. We've seen stretches of Yohan Ramirez be pretty solid and sometimes in long relief with Yohan Ramirez. And then he's often the culprit of these bullpen blowups. He's often the culprit of these blowups. And yesterday, Yohan Ramirez, a guy that, I don't want to say kept them in it, but 2 scoreless innings yesterday, struck out 2 and 2 scoreless. The Pirates were still kind of hovering around a potential to come back. They did not score at all from innings 6 through 9, but Yohan Ramirez kept them around. 23 pitches in 2 innings. Like, that's what's so frustrating to me about this bullpen is that individually, all these guys that we're talking about that have struggled, Soto, Santana, yes, but for a little bit more of a elongated period, and I hope he figures it the heck out. Montgomery, Yohan Ramirez, Justin Lawrence before he was shipped off to his old buddy Derek Shelton, Isaac Mattson, who's still trying to figure some things out. At times, these guys have been really good, but also at times they're the culprit of what's been very, very wrong with this bullpen, and I can't help but wonder, like, you know, yes, they need to do things externally to fix this bullpen, i.e. trade for somebody and maybe, you know, do the stereotypical overpay at the trade deadline for a bullpen arm. I would welcome that with open arms. And I thought before, too, you know, maybe it just needed some tweaks. Maybe they trade for a bullpen arm or 2 and move some guys around internally and it could be fixed. Now, just with the unbelievable amount of inconsistencies with the guys in-house, I don't know how likely that is.
What they lack is a staple in the bullpen. One or two very dependable guys, and maybe Wilbur Dotel has the potential to be one of them at some point, seeing that he is like sort of the bright spot in this shaky bullpen. They lack staples. Someone who is incredibly reliable for whether that's the 7th or the 8th, or someone who can be that 9th inning guy. Soto, for the most part, has probably been the most reliable, like late inning guy, but they simply just need someone who you can define as a staple for that bullpen, and they really don't have one.
No, they don't. And they potentially could find one in Carmen Mlodzinski. I haven't been on the air again in the last couple of weeks, so I missed the opportunity to talk about that whole saga. I'll sum it up like this, and not to continue to harp on it because we covered our bases with it on this station. I was able to tune in and listen. Grow up. Don't be a baby and pitch. That is my thoughts on the Pirates starter, now reliever. And I was even more upset about the way he handled things, especially coming in to pitch on Thursday in Houston. 4 innings of pretty darn good baseball, and I think you can make the case that with the exception of like one bad pitch when he gave up the home run, he was awesome. And is one of those guys that looks like can be awesome. Like his stuff plays Mlodzinski's does for an inning, if that's all the relief outing requires. Like he can get you 10, 15 pitches and all of it could be pretty good stuff, like wipe away stuff. But also, too, he's got a ton of experience as a starting pitcher. We know that, and has the stamina, if needed, to pitch 2, 3, 4 innings like we saw on Thursday. So Carmen Mlodzinski's a guy that I think could be super, super valuable down the stretch. I just wonder at this point, based off of how he handled things, was Thursday and the relief outing just the metaphorical shut the door, this conversation with him is now over, or will this linger with Carmen Mlodzinski as the season rolls along?
Hopefully it's done, and hopefully the dust has settled, and there's been enough time ever since where sort of both sides have moved on from everything from however many days ago. It could, but everything is still kind of fresh, so...
Yep. It could. I still think it could potentially linger. I hope it doesn't linger. And I think the other thing that affects this whole situation is how well does Jared Jones continue to pitch? And then today, Bubba Chandler is going to have an opportunity in what I would call a high-stakes situation individually for him. Going back home, I'm sure we'll be pitching in front of a lot of family and friends this afternoon against the Braves. His team's got to avoid the sweep. Has to. And a guy that people thought very highly of coming into the season that just hasn't necessarily put it all together. And just objectively, and I even think too, Joel, if you were to just watch all 5 Pirate starters, I guess 6 if you want to lump Jones and Mlodzinski together. If you want to lump all of them together and break down just watching them, eye test individually through a couple of starts all season, not only does Bubba Chandler have the worst numbers amongst Pirate starters, but if you were to throw all the numbers aside and just watch them throw baseballs from the home, the pitcher's mound to home plate, Bubba Chandler objectively has also looked the worst amongst Pirate starters all season long. A 5.05 ERA, has struggled mightily on finding the strike zone, almost 40 walks so far this season. And the Pirates had not won a Bubba Chandler start before Tuesday in Houston when they won 10-6. They hadn't won a Bubba Chandler start since that Rays series back in April. That was the City Connect debut night, I think, right? That Friday against the Tampa Bay Rays in April. 6 innings of 1-run ball. That was his best start all season. Well, I mean, he threw 5 scoreless in Toronto a couple of weeks ago. But that home start against the Rays, the only start all season Bubba Chandler went into the 6th inning in a ball game. And that was the last time before Tuesday the Pirates won a Bubba Chandler start. So I don't necessarily feel great about today. But again, Bubba Chandler has an opportunity this afternoon to flip the course of his season. Because I think a lot of people, and I've heard Mackey and I've heard Beasley and I've heard all these guys talk about what's going on with Bubba Chandler, and the narrative so far on this guy, and I agree with it, is that it just looks all mental so far this season. And I would agree, Chandler's got some pretty incredible stuff in his repertoire. Triple digit to the fastball, pretty good changeup, and wipe away breaking stuff when it all works. It worked a lot at the beginning of last season in AAA. Comes up at the end of the season, it looks like it works. The narrative on Bubba Chandler is that it's just all been, for whatever reason, in between his ears, his temples, the brain. And I can't help but think that if it really is truly just a mental thing this season with Bubba Chandler, how pivotal today could be. Because he's from Lawrenceville, Georgia, hometown kid, pitching in front of his hometown crowd essentially today. And I can't help but think that, like, if Bubba Chandler puts together 5 scoreless or 1-run innings of really, really good stuff on the mound and the Pirates win, I'm sure he'll get the post-game celebration and embrace with family and friends afterwards. And if you get that after a really, really good start in front of your hometown crowd, if it truly is a mental thing with Bubba Chandler, I can't help but think that all of that today in his hometown would just potentially completely turn the tide for Bubba Chandler this season. So a lot riding on today. Yes, they've got a win to avoid the sweep, but individually, I think Bubba Chandler has an opportunity to really flip the tide of his season around. I'm not predicting that it's going to happen, but I'm pointing out the fact that there is a legit chance and a legit opportunity for Bubba Chandler just to really put everything else aside, all 12 starts this season, and flip it to the last half of his major league season in 2026 and have an opportunity to look at starts 1 through 12 and then 13 through 24 or 30 or whatever it ends up being, and say, yeah, this guy was a different pitcher the last half of the season. 412-928-9370. It's the number of the fan text line as well, brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, personal injury law firm, where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. If you're pissed, 412-928-9370, and you can be pissed about a multitude of things this weekend. Not one, but 2 6-3 losses for the Pirates against the Braves. And, of course, Morgan Wallen saying, I'm done, and canceling his Pittsburgh show on Saturday night. We can vent about all of it, and we're your opportunity to do so this morning until 10 o'clock. I'm Jack Hillgrove. Happy to be back with you on a Sunday morning right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Bubba Chandler against Bryce Elder this afternoon as the Pirates take on the Braves for the final game of the series before the Pirates return home and take on the Dodgers on Tuesday night. 1:35 is today's first pitch, and coverage on The Fan is at noon with the North Shore Tavern leadoff show preceding the Pirates Insider Show at 12:35. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
84 Lumber is partnered with Anderson Windows and Doors to bring a brand new showroom to Mount Lebanon. From homeowners to industry pros, everyone can see, touch, and interact with various series of Anderson windows and a wide variety of doors to make the most informed decision for their build. 84 Lumber experts are on site to demonstrate product features, answer your questions, and even schedule a visit to the job site for measuring and installation. Your budget matters and flexible financing options are available. Call today to schedule a personal consultation at 570-507-8015.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Our firm handles hundreds of crash cases involving semi-trucks every year. A crash case involving semis is much different, and if you don't know what you're doing, you can leave lots of money on the table. Many times there is separate insurance for the cab and for the trailer. Sometimes there are actually layers of other insurances and excess insurance that some lawyers may not know about because they don't see that many cases. We see these cases every day. Also, there are federal laws governing the hours a driver may drive in a 24-hour period and logs that are required. A crash case involving a semi-truck is a totally different animal than a simple car crash. We have lawyers who only handle these cases. It's all they do. Rolling the dice with the wrong law firm can be disastrous. Call us on your cell phone at Pound Law, pound 529. It's so easy. Injured? Dial Pound Law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
You want free rewards? Add DraftKings Casino's Daily Rewards Rocket to your orbit. All players get a free reward every day. Launch your rocket up to 3 times daily for a chance at crowns, exclusive flex spins, and even the top prize $5,000 in credits. Head to the DraftKings Casino app and blast off right now to land free rewards. Use them on your favorite casino games, then come back tomorrow and play again. In partnership with DraftKings Casino, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. 3 launches per day for rewards. Launches expire each day at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Non-withdrawable rewards and amounts vary per launch and are subject to game and expiration limits. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Sponsored by DK Crown Holdings Incorporated.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jake from State Farm. I just beat my running PR, so I'm celebrating with the Banana Bonanza smoothie.
Hey, and you can keep celebrating when you create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. Go bananas.
I will. Hey, make it a large.
Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
Fan Twitter brought to you by South Hills Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, Route 19 in Peters Township. Joel, when's the last time we had more of a bigger news day, potentially, like leading into waiting to figure out what's going on sports-wise, than waiting to hear what Ben Cherington has to say on his radio program today about Brandon Lau?
Man, I don't know. The anticipation for that is just going to be off the charts. Hopefully they can avoid an IL stint and he only misses a couple of games, maybe just the Dodgers series, but who knows? I mean, you limp off the way he did with the help of, 2 medical staff bringing him off the field yesterday. And sure, it was late in the game, 9th inning. He's not going to stay in, but the way everything looked, he would be fortunate to probably miss an IL stint.
I think very fortunate. Platinum Key, shout out to that guy. Love his stuff. Does the podcast Bucko Territory with Noah Hiles. So he is very active during all the games and tweets, the highlights and stuff. And there's the clip of the play at the end of the game. The fact that it happened with 2 strikes with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning, too, it just makes it so much worse. Like, the fact that they were literally down to their final strike, and it happened at the end of the game, like when the game could not be more than over, is also just incredibly unfortunate. But Platinum Key tweets out all the videos, again, the highlights from like the TV broadcast and stuff, and the play is up there. And Jesse Morse, MD, I don't know, it's a verified account on Twitter, and he's got 186,000 followers. It's a doctor. Replied to Platinum Key and said, possible patellar fracture. Best case scenario, he has a bad bone bruise. And if that's best case scenario, right, bad bone bruise, that's probably an IL stint.
That's IL stint. That's hopefully 10-day IL, avoid 60-day IL, probably multiple weeks.
But a patellar fracture, I mean, it's a broken kneecap is what that is for those of you who aren't medical experts like myself. And I looked up just a quick Google of patellar fracture, healing time, recovery time, protocol with that. Typically takes 3 to 6 months. And if you go on the shorter side of that, 3 months from now is September 7th, and we're at the end of the regular season by that point. And if you still go on the lighter side of that, it's 4 months. I would love the fact that the Pirates are playing baseball on October 7th, but I don't know how likely that is. And I don't know how likely that is, especially without Brandon Lau. So that's not me, putting on my tinfoil hat and saying, oh, this is what could happen based off of what I saw and what I'm seeing people say. Like, the guy that responded to the tweet's a doctor with almost 200,000 followers on Twitter and says possible broken kneecap. And I don't even think you need to be a doctor. Look at the video and watch where the baseball hit on Brandon Lau's lower extremities. It looks like it hits him square in the kneecap. And again, no medical professional here, but I would venture to guess that if a ball traveling at that speed and being redirected at that speed straight into your kneecap might have a pretty real chance of breaking your kneecap.
I mean, Christian Yelich had that in 2019, and it ended his season.
What time of year did that take place?
Yeah, that was also in September of that season. Okay. It was when he and Cody Bellinger were like side by side for that NL MVP race at the time. But yeah, if it's a broken kneecap, that's extensive.
Yeah, fractured right kneecap on September 10th, 2019. Yelich was treated non-surgically with a projected recovery timeline of 8 to 10 weeks at that time. That makes me feel better about reading 3 to 6 months, potentially for a broken kneecap as well. Long story short, I don't know what kind of update we're going to get from Ben Cherington on his radio show about Brandon Lau, but I'm going to be waiting patiently to see what it is. Because if it is broken kneecap, we're talking about, again, probably at least a 60-day IL stint and then a rehab assignment. And you're looking at, I don't know, Joel, if I see, Yelich at the time was given 8 to 10 weeks. We're probably looking at like a mid to late August return if that's the case.
Yeah, the Pirates would have to essentially tread water and remain in the playoff hunt for Brandon Lau to return this season. If they're not, if they're out of it, it's like O'Neal Cruz in 2023 with that lower leg injury he had where he maybe could have come back, but because the Pirates are out of it, just simply safe decision, don't let him play the rest of the season. Pirates would probably need to tread water and remain in the hunt, quote unquote, in the hunt, as we like to use here at the Fan.
Yeah.
For Brandon Lau to probably return this season.
Yeah. Again, hopefully we're just blowing this way out of proportion. Bone bruise, maybe just a short stint on the 10-day injured list, and he comes back ready to roll in a week or two. That's what I'll be hoping for. But something to keep an eye on for sure. And again, the fact that it happened while the Pirates were down to their final strike down 3 runs and the tying run wasn't even at the plate. Sucks. So we'll be waiting patiently to hear the news, if there is any, on Ben Charrington's radio program this afternoon with Jason Mackey that starts at 12:35, and you'll be able to listen to that right here on The Fan. The hashtag Berg Proud Challenge is gaining momentum, and we need you. Join the Greater Pittsburgh Community Food Bank along with the Penguins, Pirates, and Steelers by moving 30 miles this June. You can grab a one-of-a-kind Berg Proud t-shirt featuring all 3 black and gold logos when you start a fundraising campaign and raise your first $25. Plus, your contribution goes twice as far thanks to a matching grant from the Richard King Mellon Foundation. Sign up today at pittsburghfoodbank.org/Odyssey PGH. 412-928-9370. That's the number to join the conversation. And the phone lines are open all morning long. All morning long, the phone lines are open. We're talking about the Pirates. We could talk about Morgan Wallen canceling the concert last night. We could talk about whatever your little heart desires. And before we go to break, emphasis on whatever your little heart desires. Jolie, because we haven't been able to work together the last couple of weeks, your thoughts on game 1 and 2 of the NBA Finals?
How about those Knicks, man?
Are you at all shocked that it's 2-0 Knicks going into New York for Game 3?
I am a little bit shocked because I thought it would be a pretty even series. Like San Antonio, I think, was a fairly heavy favorite, like a minus 210 favorite. But I don't know. I like the Knicks better because of like their playoff experience. San Antonio has such a young core group that doesn't have too much playoff experience really at all. Their centerpiece is only 22 years old. New York has much more playoff experience. Mike Brown has been in the NBA for a long time.
How about that guy?
How about that? He took, and good for the Knicks to, make the right decision, move on from Thibodeau, bring in Brown, and now you're in the finals and you're up 2-0 and probably going to win it all. I know that was a controversial move at the time, but it's working out for New York for sure. Mike Brown has been in the NBA and been a head coach much longer than Mitch Johnson has for San Antonio. I mean, you look on paper, the Knicks with their players, Brunson, Bridges, Hart, it's just a much more experienced team than what San Antonio has, like their core group. So I'm shocked that it's 2-0, but I'm not surprised also.
The Knicks are a team, you think about how incredible this is. They've won 13 consecutive in the postseason. And they only have 2 playoff losses. Both in that first series against the Hawks. So they're 13-2 in the postseason? Both playoff losses are only by 1 point.
That's crazy.
They lost 109-108 in game 3 of that Hawks series and 107-106 in game 2 at home. And since then, they've won every postseason contest they played in. Also, on the way to this point, a team beating the Cavaliers, who the Cavs had some momentum going into the East Finals. I think a lot of people thought the Cavs could potentially be in this series, and the Knicks just completely took all the wind out of their sails.
From that very first game.
And killed them for 4 straight games. That, 20-some point comeback in game 1, and then it just all unraveled away from Cleveland from there. So I am not discrediting the Knicks and what they've been able to accomplish at all. But you want to talk about the Spurs and their centerpiece. And their centerpiece, while young, I get that, has the potential to be the next face of the NBA. And be the next face of the NBA for a very long time. Not only that, he's 7'5". There is zero excuse. I don't care how young or green or inexperienced Victor Wembanyama is. You need to knock down that jumper at the end of the game the other night. I don't even, the fact that he's 7.5 feet tall makes it worse. But you are the centerpiece of your franchise, and you roll off a screen like that and get a wide open, 20-foot jumper. Centerpieces make that shot and win games for you. And who had the hand in his face? Was it Mitch Robinson? I think it was.
Probably, yeah.
wasn't even, like, he was not even contested that heavily. And again, he's almost 8 feet tall. Make the jump shot, dude. Not to discredit anything the Knicks have accomplished in this series or since Game 4, that Hawks series all the way back at the start of this postseason. But you've got to knock that shot down if you're Wembanyama. And if he does, we're talking about a completely different series as we go into Game 3. Because if it's 1-1 going back to New York, I would probably predict it to be 2-2 going into Game 5, and then we're talking about this series going 7. Now I'm not sure this series even goes back to San Antonio. That's the magnitude of missing that shot at the end of the game. And I'd be hard-pressed to find, and I know we're not even halfway through the calendar year of 2026, but from January 1, 2026 to December 31, 2026, Joel, if we're going to, once we get to the end of the year and we look back on like the year in review, I'm going to have a very hard time believing that there will not be a more rambunctious and electric sports atmosphere than what the Garden's going to be like. What's that game tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow at 8:30. Have you seen the ticket prices for those?
Yeah, I think you can get into the Garden on the cheap end for like $9,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Do you want to go?
We'll go to a watch party. How about that? Whatever the TC of New York City is, and there are probably a lot of them, I'd rather much do that. Even though it'll be insanely packed, rather much do that.
No, I have a hard time believing you'll find a more electric sports atmosphere all year long than what the Garden's going to look like tomorrow night.
And good for them. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Good for, I mean, they hadn't been in this series since 99.
Yeah, pretty much.
And hadn't won one in a really long time. And I don't know if they're ever going to get back because the Thunder are going to get better. The Spurs are only going to get better. And everybody in the East is going to get better too. Like the Pacers will probably be back when Halliburton gets healthy.
The Celtics will be back to form.
They'll be back
fully
to
healthy
form.
Tatum.
The Cavs might still be lingering around if they can get something long-term with Harden. Like, the East is going to get more competitive. And then who knows where the chips fall on Giannis. Like, if he ends up on a contender in the East, like, that changes things. So I don't know if the Knicks with this core, Cat and the Villanova guys, I don't know if they could ever win another one together.
So is this almost like it could potentially be the Patriots and Seahawks NBA version of that, we think? We can't say the same about the Stanley Cup Finals because Vegas and Carolina have become sort of household names.
Yeah, and that game last night was awesome.
That was something.
That was awesome. 4-4 going into overtime. Vegas a 2-1 lead. That's a good question.
Vegas sure bailed themselves out. That would have been a very embarrassing loss.
I'm going to say no because, like, if I were to place a wager right now, right, I would bet on the fact that neither Seattle nor New England gets back to the Super Bowl this year.
Same here.
I don't know if I would bet against the Spurs getting back to the NBA Finals next year. They have a much more clear-cut path to get back to their championship than the Seahawks and the Patriots do, especially Seattle, because that NFC West, and now it has Myles Garrett.
They're not making it past Myles Garrett.
Not even, no. And I think New England takes a little bit of a step back this year because Buffalo still exists. Josh Allen still has a pulse, and they're going to play a harder schedule. So, no, I think from the Knicks' point of view, maybe, but no, I think the Spurs will be back. And I think they'll probably win multiple as long as they keep Victor Wembanyama around. 412-928-9370. Join us at the Fan 5 Alarm presented by Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union June 17th at the Wexford Volunteer Fire Department and June 18th at Robinson Town Center. You can help local VFDs with a tax-deductible donation at 937thefan.com. Fan 5 Alarm brought to you by Living Treasures Animal Park in Donegal, Leon's Billiards and More, and Myers Law Group. Phone lines are open. 412-928-9370. Has the last two games, the Pirates in Atlanta, both 6-3 losses, has it completely derailed your line of thinking of maybe this team can contend for a wild card spot? It has not for me. It has not for me in the slightest. And if you disagree and you look at this team saying, you know what, this is how they look against a real NL contender, I have my doubts, I want to hear about it at 412-928-9370. We'll take your phone calls, plus the Sunday Same Game Parlay at 9:25. We're only with you until 10 o'clock this morning, so give us a ring. I'm Jack Hillgrove at Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Braves have already taken their series against the Pirates with a pair of 6-3 victories from Friday and yesterday. Pirates looking to salvage today's game. 1:35 the first pitch, where it's Georgia native Bubba Chandler on the mound. He'll take on Bryce Elder. Coverage on the Fan begins at noon, presented by Keystone Custom Apparel, and that precedes the Pirates Insider Show at 12:35. Fan Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Hey, it's Pony, brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 93.7 The Fan. Who do you think will be wearing the ring at the end of the NBA Finals? Take your shot with FanDuel, and you just might be celebrating a victory of your very own. Because right now, new customers can hit the court with $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 straight days. FanDuel, in partnership with Valley Forge, is the best place to bet all your favorite players during the NBA's biggest event. Guys, I like the Spurs to win the NBA Finals. Wembanyama might be only 22 years old, and the team average age might be 23, but they knocked off OKC, and New York had a cakewalk to get to the Finals. So just visit FanDuel.com/Andrew to join now to get $350 in bonus bets guaranteed after betting $5 for 7 days. FanDuel, an official partner of the NBA. 21 plus and present in Pennsylvania. First online real money wager only. Minimum $5 wager required for 7 straight days. $5 first deposit required. Bonus issued is now drawable bonus bets, which expire 7 days after receipt. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ready to kick off summer in a new GMC? Head to Joe Ball GMC for Truck Month, where the inventory is huge, the savings are even bigger, and qualified buyers can score rates as low as 0% financing. Plus, save big across their entire lineup of new GMC vehicles. Hurry in today or go to joeballgm.com.
No way. Gas prices shot up again.
I know, but I got us covered.
So generous. What's your deal?
What's my deal? I went to Metro and saved. Got 4 lines for just $25 each and 4 free new Samsung Galaxy A17 5G phones, and all on the T-Mobile network.
How about we go to Metro today?
Get that more for your money feeling. Visit your Metro by T-Mobile store. Just bring your numbers. Not available if you've been with Metro or T-Mobile in the past 180 days.
Running a small business is a daily balancing act. One late shipment, one price hike, one employee issue, and your whole month, maybe the entire year, could be in trouble. That's where LendSeek comes in.
I needed $100,000 fast to keep up with inventory demands. LendSeek had me funded the same day I applied. Between their AI platform finding the fastest deal and a dedicated funding specialist guiding the process, it couldn't have been easier.
Our AI-driven platform matches your business with the right program from over 100 funders, up to $2 million in as fast as 24 hours. Don't wait until it's too late. If you've been in business at least 2 years with more than $500,000 in annual revenue, qualifying is simple. No collateral, no out-of-pocket costs, no hassle. From lines of credit, term loans to revenue-based financing, LendSeek is open for business. Apply in minutes at lendseek.com. That's LENDSEEK.com.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy 2 get 2 free offer.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. things people love.
Have you noticed that every service company these days is owned by some giant corporation with zero personality and no personal touch? Yeah, no thanks. Gherkin Roofing is still family-owned, truly local, and when you call, a human answers. One with a pulse and probably a Pittsburgh accent. They do roofing, siding, gutters, and win awards year after year for their customer service. So if you want a contractor that picks up the phone, shows up, and treats you like a neighbor, because they are one, call The Pickle. Gherkin Roofing, always local and friendly, 724-515-5551.
We gathered real Pennsylvania seniors and asked them how they would benefit from an extra $1,000. Here's what they had to say.
Everything is so expensive these days.
Car expenses, repairs.
My groceries, heating costs.
Medications. Sure, I could easily spend $1,000 like that.
Through Pennsylvania's property tax rent rebate program, eligible seniors and adults with disabilities could receive up to $1,000. Check your eligibility and apply online. Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
For over 50 years, the Jim Shorkey Auto Group has been built on trust and family values. At Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi in North Huntington, that tradition continues with great service and great deals. We have your perfect Mitsubishi, and with a 10-year limited warranty, 2 years of free paid maintenance, and 5 years of unlimited roadside assistance, you'll drive with Mitsubishi confidence.
Your deal.
Your way.
What a great day.
At Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi, North Huntington. Call 724-995-3658 for warranty details.
Shopping for replacement windows? Metropolitan Window Company elevates your shopping experience.
John, Maggie, and Justin Schmutzer here from Metropolitan Window Company, Pittsburgh's locally owned and family-operated window and door company for over 47 years.
When you choose Metropolitan Window Company, you'll experience personalized knowledge, expertise, and professionalism from our first visit to your home until our craftsmen complete your installation.
We're the window company that people want in their homes, and our exclusive Infinity by Marvin 100% fiberglass windows are the windows people love.
They're built for life. They are the strongest, longest-lasting windows you can buy.
And we have a great selection of colors and finishes. Experience Metropolitan Window Company. Stop by our showrooms, visit us at metropolitanwindows.com, or give us a call at 412-655-8411.
PA 1565.
Take a break and come out with us tonight.
Not tonight, man.
Come on. You deserve a night out. You're going to miss out.
Miss out on what?
While you stayed home, they won big. They celebrated. They got the suite, stayed up all night, and made memories. And you weren't there. Some nights are too good to sit out. Rivers Casino. Don't miss the moment.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com.
Fan weather brought to you by Secure Money Advisors. Looking to retire soon? Let Secure Money Advisors get your retirement on track. Here's your fan weather. It didn't rain last night, and Morgan Wallen still canceled his concert like a bozo. And I'm not sure that Pittsburgh has had a larger villain since Sid Bream. Let's do a Mount Rushmore real quick, Jolie, of all-time Pittsburgh sports villains. Sid Bream is on it. Probably number one.
Sid Bream, Morgan Wallen. Can we throw Jake Arrieta and Kyle Schwarber in there too?
I don't know if you could do, because is it just, I feel like the bigger one of that 2015 wildcard game is just Jake Arrieta. I mean, Schwarber had the crushing blow, but I don't know. I kind of put that on the same level as who hit the Grand Slam in the 14 wildcard game? Wasn't that Brandon Crawford? Garrett Cole's brother-in-law.
Are they actually brothers-in-law?
Yeah, I think Garrett Cole.
That's cool.
No, Brandon Crawford, I think, married Garrett Cole's sister. One of them married one of their sisters. I think Brandon Crawford married Garrett Cole's sister. I think that's how that works. But that 2014 NL wildcard game was 8-0. Giants over Pirates. Mad Bum was prime Mad Bum. Yeah, it was Crawford at the Grand Slam. Nine innings of 4-hit shutout ball. Walked 1, struck out 10. That's really good. Volquez gave up 5 and 5 runs. John Holtzcomb pitched in that game, Jolie. Do you remember John Holtzcomb?
No, not really.
He had 9 games, 9 innings in 2014. It was his only year in professional baseball, in at least the major leagues. But I think the Mount Rushmore of Pittsburgh sports villains, Sid Bream. I'll go Jake Arrieta.
Can we say...
Is there a hockey one in there?
Can we say back from 2011, Aaron Rodgers and or Mike McCarthy?
That is, you could. I would probably just go Tom Brady, to be very generic about it. I mean, think about the Patriots beat the Steelers in 2 AFC championship games that he started and won against the team.
And not to mention some season openers where the Patriots thoroughly outplayed the Steelers.
Yeah, thumped. The whole season opener, the Deflategate suspension being lifted, and then him running out onto the field and them beating the Steelers pretty handedly.
It's a Tom Brady plus Rob Gronkowski plus Bill Belichick trio.
Yeah, I think that trio's on there. You could put the Schwarber and Arrieta duo on there. Sid Bream individually and number 1 on the Pittsburgh sports villain Mount Rushmore. And if we want to do non-sports, you can throw old Morgan Wallen on there. I'm at the point with Morgan Wallen where if he never comes back to Pittsburgh, it would be too soon after this weekend.
There's going to be some time. They say time heals wounds.
I don't know
Pittsburgh's
about that.
going to need some time from Morgan Wallen.
Well, our guy over at KDKA Radio, Marty Griffin, who has a pulse all over the North Shore. Marty tweeted yesterday at 10 o'clock, sources confirm Wallen left town on a plane before they had even had a meeting, and he demanded that they announce the cancellation after he was in the air. And then a bunch of people were like screenshotting flight logs. And there's one here. He took off. There was a small private plane that took off and landed in Nashville from Pittsburgh at 2:33 p.m. and took off at 1:28, which was well before the announcement took place. Oh, well. We'll move on. Pittsburgh always moves on. And how about something that we didn't mention this morning, Joel? And as I say this, I sigh, because if you know me, you know where my college allegiance is. I'm not particularly the largest fan of anything West Virginia athletics, not even a little bit. If you're watching on the YouTube stream or on X, you can see my Pitt shirt. Kudos to the Morgantown faithful and WVU fans all over the region for what they accomplished this weekend in Morgantown at the Super Regional. I had mentioned last segment about how unbelievably epic MSG is going to be tomorrow night for Game 3 of the NBA Finals, and maybe calling it one of the best sports atmospheres of the year. Morgantown this weekend for the Super Regional is up there as well. Again, not a West Virginia fan, not even close to a West Virginia fan. If you know me, you know what side of the rivalry I'm on. But credit deserves to be given when it's due. And Mountaineer Nation has a lot to be proud of this weekend. Now, Jolie, I don't know how much of those games you watched.
Not a whole lot.
An incredible atmosphere in Morgantown, and I kind of had FOMO. I kind of wish that, like, one of my teams had a college baseball run like that, and I could be a part of an atmosphere like that. Speaking of weather, and we'll go to break after this, So the inclement weather kind of did roll through Morgantown a little bit during this game yesterday. It got postponed in the top of the 8th inning with 2 outs. West Virginia already winning 17-1. And I believe that was the final score. But Cal Poly had 2 outs in the top of the 8th, down 16 runs, and the game got postponed. Not postponed, weather delay, because they were able to finish it, obviously.
Did they actually end up finishing it, or did they call it?
No, I believe they finished it.
Hopefully it wasn't too long of a delay. At that point, you're down by 16 runs.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, Mercy rolled and then some.
Yeah. West Virginia was very much the better team this weekend. And a small part of me will be... I got to be careful how I say this because the Pitt crowd might come at me. Small part of me is kind of rooting for them this weekend. Because it's native to our region, but also I'm more so hoping West Virginia does well in Omaha, because think about all the teams in college baseball that succeed and do well. You're either on the West Coast or in the South. Northern college baseball teams seem like they have such a harder time to win and compete on a national stage. So that's why I hope West Virginia does well in Omaha. I mean, think about all the really good college baseball programs. When's the last time a team from the North-ish won a national championship in baseball?
And at the end of the day, you just got to root for the local team. I mean, you got, someone, even if you're Pitt or Penn State, at the end of the day, West Virginia being a somewhat local team, you got to have a small inkling to cheer for them a little bit. I don't know.
I don't think ever. Ohio State won a national championship in baseball in 1966. And it's since then. I'll just rattle them off rapid fire. Arizona State, USC, Arizona State, USC, Texas, Arizona, Arizona State, USC, Cal State Fullerton, Arizona, Arizona State, Miami, Texas, CS Fullerton, Miami, Arizona, Stanford, Wichita State randomly in 1989, and then Georgia, LSU, Pepperdine, Oklahoma, Rice, Oregon State, South Carolina, UCLA, Vanderbilt, Coastal Carolina, Florida, and the last 5, LSU, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss, Mississippi State. For whatever reason, and I'm sure, weather and climate have a lot to do with it, northern-based college baseball programs just don't fare well nationally. And the most College World Series winners proves that. So that's why I'm hoping West Virginia does well this weekend, or in the College World Series. All right. Back to the Pirates when we come back. The phone lines are open for you at 412-928-9370. Has the last 2 games in Atlanta completely derailed your line of thinking that this team could contend for a postseason spot? Or are you like me and still holding out hope that the Pirates, 2-3 games above 500 right now in June, that they'll still be a wild card contender nearing the end of the season? 412-928-9370. Sunday same game parlay at 9:25, and we're with you until 10 o'clock. I'm Jack Hillgrove on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
HD1 Pittsburgh, an Odyssey sports station. Live from the Jim Shorkey Mitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills. Always live and free on the Odyssey app. Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
Heart disease is the leading cause of death in the United States. So when it comes to your heart, there's no room for compromise. At UPMC Heart and Vascular Institute, innovation, technology, and world-class expertise come together to treat the most complex heart cases, redefining what's possible for patients who need it most. Getting your heart checked can save your life. Schedule your appointment with the region's leader at upmc.com/heart.
The certified elder law attorneys at Julian Gray Associates understand the rules of long-term care and disability. They help families avoid mistakes and protect assets to maintain the best lifestyle options. You don't have to do this alone. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Yinzer Nation, pro football is coming to Paris, and True Fan Travel is bringing you there. October 20th through the 26th. 5 nights at the Hyatt Regency in Paris. Steps from the Arc de Triomphe, a private group tour of the city, a dinner cruise along the Seine, a pep rally with a black and gold legend, and an all-inclusive tailgate before kickoff at Stade de France. This is the first ever pro football game in Paris. You don't want to watch this one from your couch. Book now at truefantravel.com. Spots are limited.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods. Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-507-9701. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-507-9701. That's 800-507-9701. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
All right, Joel Nelson for Fan Headlines. Pirates yesterday fell to the Braves 6-3, as they did on Friday night as well. Game 3 of the series will be this afternoon at 1:35. Bubba Chandler will take on Bryce Elder. Coverage on the Fan begins at noon with the North Shore Tavern leadoff show, and that will precede the Pirates Insider Show with Jason Mackey at 12:35. More headlines at 937thefan.com. Right now, hour number 2 with Jack Hillgrove.
Live and local sports news on the weekends? Imagine that. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
And a very happy, lovely, beautiful Sunday morning to you. Happy 6-7 day to those who celebrate. My name's Jack Hillgrove. This is Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan. 412-928-9370 is the number to join the conversation as we get set for this third game in Atlanta. 1:35 this afternoon, Bucks and Braves. Pirates looking to avoid being swept by Atlanta. Pair of 6-3 losses this weekend put themselves in this position. And this afternoon, it's Bubba Chandler pitching in his hometown against the Atlanta Braves at 1:35 p.m. 412-928-9370. And the question that I have for you on the fan hotline, because the narrative going into this series with Atlanta was, okay, good litmus test here. Braves are 20 games over 500. I believe one of the odds-on favorites, not just to win the NL, but to win the whole thing. Good measuring stick series for the Pirates. Where do they stand amongst the elite teams in the National League, because the two most elite NL teams are the Pirates' next two series. They've got the Braves today to wrap things up, and then on Tuesday, the Dodgers come to town, Ohtani pitching in that series against the Pirates. Good measuring stick, right? That's all I heard leading into this series with the Braves. They lose the first two games by 3 runs. I'm wondering at 412-928-9370 if you're putting a lot of stock into this series as a litmus test, as a measuring stick for figuring out how much of a postseason contender the Pirates are. And are these first 2 losses against Atlanta turning you away from the idea that the Pirates can compete for the postseason? At 412-928-9370. I'm not quite there yet. I'll feel potentially different about it if they lose today, the Pirates do, get swept by Atlanta, and suffer the same fate this week at home against the Dodgers. But we're not there yet, and I don't think that's going to happen, which is why I'm not quite down the rabbit hole of pack it in. Pirates aren't there yet. And I'm curious what your thoughts are at 412-928-9370. And I mentioned this in the first hour as well. Today's not only a massive game for the Pirates individually to get a game against a really good team on the road, but a massive game for Bubba Chandler on the mound. A massive game for Bubba Chandler on the mound because he has the opportunity here, I think, to change the course of his season entirely. And I say that because a lot of what I heard, and I agree with on Bubba Chandler, is that his woes this season are all mental. It's just one of those things where he has not been able to put it together mentally this season, and that's why he's been struggling. Bubba Chandler's from Lawrenceville, Georgia, which in relation to Atlanta is like being from like Greensburg or Westmoreland County in relation to downtown Pittsburgh. Maybe not even Greensburg, Monroeville. Yeah, Monroeville's a good comparison. Where Bubba Chandler is from in Georgia in relation to Atlanta is like being from Monroe, if you live in Monroeville to downtown Pittsburgh. He's from Atlanta. And I would venture to guess that Bubba Chandler is going to have a lot of people, friends and family, in the building today watching him pitch. If Bubba Chandler has an opportunity and puts together his best start of the season today and the Pirates win, if it really is mental with Bubba Chandler right now, and that's why the ERA stinks, and that's why he's walked a bunch of guys this season, I can't help but think for a young player that an unbelievable start in your hometown in front of the people you hold most near and dear to your heart, because that's what Bubba Chandler's got going on today, what that does for him mentally for the rest of the season, I think, is invaluable. So again, an opportunity for the collective, as Mike Tomlin would once say, to avoid a sweep and bounce back against the Braves. But I think the fate potentially, I would even not go that far. I think the fate of Bubba Chandler's season and the type of statistical year he could have from now until it's all said and done hangs in the balance today. 412-928-9370. The phone lines are filling up. We'll start with our guy Rob in North for Sales. What's up, Rob? Good to talk to you, brother.
Hey, what's up, man? You're finally back on Sunday morning. It's throwing me off the last couple of weeks.
I know, just a combination of me being away and you know, those early Peacock games on Sunday. I just haven't had a chance to hop on the air. I've ducked away, but I'm happy to be back on, especially talk to you, Rob. What's on your mind?
Well, as far as the Pirates in Atlanta, it's a good litmus test, but I ain't going to take too much stock into it if they go 0-3 in this series. I'd like to get another win, come home even from this homestand, but Atlanta's the best team in baseball, and I've watched not just the Pirates, but I've been paying attention across the whole league. But what the Pirates need to do is take what they've had in this series and apply that when they go up against the interdivision games. Because that division is getting stacked. So you're going to have to start to separate yourself. So I think series like the Braves and the Dodgers will set the Pirates up for some of these big series against their division rivals.
Yeah, and the momentum you could build from that point too, Rob. Thanks for the call, man. I appreciate it. And Joe, correct me if I'm wrong, but especially the last couple of years, have the Pirates not played well at home against the Dodgers? It seems like they've kind of, or am I completely making it up?
Well, on paper, you would think that the Dodgers, based on how the Dodgers have been in the past X amount of seasons and the way the Pirates have been the past X amount of seasons, you would think that the Dodgers would cruise whenever they are in Pittsburgh. I thought the Pirates won their series last year.
The Pirates were 4-2 against the Dodgers in 2025 and in 2024. And in 2023, the Pirates played them 7 times and they were 4-3.
So the Pirates swept the Dodgers at home last year.
Joey, I just keep typing in year by year. They were 5-1 in 2022 against the Dodgers.
They swept in Los Angeles that year. The
last time the Pirates had a single season losing record against LA, the Dodgers, was 2021. They did not win a single game against the Dodgers. They were 0-6. But in 22, 23, 24, and 25, they won either 4 or 5 games against LA every year. So they have that going for them, which is nice. Joel typed in Beetle Bailey, who wants to talk about Bubba Chandler. Good morning, Beetle Bailey.
Good morning. I'm not reading much into this series as a barometer. If anything, they've had the game 3-3 in the middle innings. Okay. I think they were set up to fail. Major League Baseball, a team on the road generally gets to play a day game on Thursday if they're going to be traveling. Mackey talked about those guys not getting in until 4 a.m., getting to sleep, waking up, almost having to go right away to the ballpark. But 3-3 in the middle innings, this Braves team being on fire. Pirates haven't had their true studs like they might be able to line up down in October in like maybe an LCS to LDS situation. Here's what I will say. I said this to my dad before the Phillies came to town. This 25-game stretch is going to make or break the Pirates season.
Yeah.
They're hanging tough. I think they're playing 500 baseball. Here's what bothers me, okay? In a couple big games this season, you remember the Skeens game. It was the bobblehead game. He gave them a 5-0 lead. Mother Nature kicks in. Unlike yesterday with the Morgan Wallen situation, he just used that as an excuse. But my point is that game, the Phillies, they had the 6-0 lead against the Phillies on the Friday night, the opener that weekend. This is tricky. Bubba's been good on the road. Okay, that's how Bubba's saving face, and I think holding on to that 5th spot. Pitching well on the road, being competitive, giving them close to quality starts on the road. But if they lose this game today, even though I don't read into it as a barometer series, and then the Dodgers come to town, and like you said, inexplicably, they've had their number the last number of seasons, in spite of what the Dodgers have gone on to do, respectively, from season to season, comparatively.
Yeah, which is crazy to think about, right?
Like 2-7. I know the Mariners come to town later. This is a slippery slope here if they don't maybe find a way to win a game or two in the next 4 or 5 games.
I agree, Beetle Bailey. Thanks for the call, man. The defending champs, back-to-back years, and the Pirates have been, the Pirates since 2023. Really ever since the Skeens era began, we've had a lot to complain about. The Pirates have a winning record and have had a winning record every season against the Dodgers going back to 2021. They'll see Ohtani this week, I believe. When, Joel? Do you know off the top of your head? I think Wednesday?
Wednesday, yes.
But the Dodgers have to see Paul Skeens, and they'll see Paul Skeens on Tuesday. So an opportunity today, again, like I mentioned, for Bubba Chandler to really bounce back and I think turn the course of his season pitching in front of his hometown friends and family. And that could set you up for, again, if we're just going off of what recent history tells us, and you've got Skeens and Jared Jones in back-to-back games this week against LA, they'll have a good chance to take 2 or 3. And then the next 3 series are the Marlins, who are 5 games below 500. I guess they go to, where do the A's play? Sacramento, who are 30 and 34. And then they stay out west and play like one of the worst teams in baseball in Colorado. That'll be their next 9 games after the Dodgers series. Opportunity to do some damage. Let's go to Boyd. He's calling from Philly. Hello, Boyd.
Good morning, Jack. Nice to be on your show. Thanks for taking my call.
You got it, man.
To answer your question, do I think this Braves series and the upcoming Dodgers series is a litmus test? Yes and no. By that I mean you could certainly see with this team long before the Atlanta series that the Achilles heel is the bullpen. It's got to be addressed by the trading deadline or any hope of getting to the October tournament, as I like to call it, I think is very slim. As one of the previous callers alluded to, the Philadelphia series, that Friday night loss was just absolutely pathetic in capital letters. And any team that hopes to get to October has to find a way to lock these games away. I think the last statistic I heard was, 12 or 13 blown saves and leads with, crooked number leads coughed up and ended up in losses. If they could just cut that in half or even 1/4, they'd probably be in first place, but they haven't been able to do it because of the bullpen. So it's a litmus test, but it's not. I wasn't holding out a whole lot of hope up until the trade deadline to see what they might be able to do in terms of shoring up the bullpen. Adding another starter, ideally from the left side, wouldn't hurt either. But I think primarily the number one need for this team is stronger bullpen pieces. And on another thought, has there been an update on Brandon Lau's?
No, not yet. Not yet. I haven't seen anything. Boyd, thanks for the call. And that's why, Ben Cherington, say what you want to, but, put opinions of Ben Cherington aside if we're going to talk about Ben Cherington from an objective standpoint. Ben Cherington, I don't think is necessarily Captain Charisma. Very monotone and might be able to put you to sleep when he talks. That's not going to be the case today on his radio program with Jason Mackey at 12:35. Hopefully there's an update. I'm not sure how confident I am there'll be an update, but this happened yesterday and the GM's got a radio program in a few hours. So I will be waiting patiently to hear if there is any update on Brandon Lau. But that definitely did not look good yesterday as far as Brandon Lau's potential injury is concerned. As far as blown saves go, all of last year the Pirates had 26 of them. And here is what's so eye-opening to me about save opportunities for the Pirates so far this season compared to all of 2025. Yes, the Pirates had 26 in the entire season. We're not even halfway through the 2026 regular season, and the Pirates have half as many blown saves. If we're going to treat save opportunities like they're a game and compare their record, right? The Pirates had, quick math, 62 save opportunities in 2025. And the Pirates were 36 and 26, right? 36 plus 26 is 62. Yep. Pirates did have 26 blown saves last year, but 36 saves. So if we're going to treat save opportunities like they're a game, the Pirates were 10 games over 500 in 2025. That tells you that the bullpen, despite the team not being very good last year, I think we can look back and remember the bullpen being all right. In 2026, the Pirates have had 26 save opportunities. 26 in 2026. They're 13 and 13. 13 saves, 13 blown saves. You want to put that in comparison to the teams that actually do have more blown saves than the Pirates do so far this season? The Tigers, Nationals, each have 16. The Tigers are bad. They have 16 blown saves to only 12 saves. But the Washington Nationals, who also have 16 blown saves, which is just so many to this point in the regular season, they do have 20 saves as a team. So they're above 500 in retrospect. Another team right below the Pirates with 12 blown saves this season as a team is the Athletics, but they have 19 save opportunities. Last year, the Pirates 26, as I mentioned, all season long, but 36 saves. Right now, they're quote-unquote 500, which is not good. And the bullpen absolutely has to get better. One more call before the break. Our man in Weirton, Mr. Vince. What's up, Vince?
Hey, Jack. I'm with you. I'm not giving up on the Buccos yet. I still think the Braves are a much better team than the Pirates. So the elite teams of baseball, it's a confidence builder. If they can win today, it's a good feather in their cap going into the Dodgers series. But I'm really concerned about Keller. Seems like the quality of his outings has kind of deteriorated a little bit. Which when Skeens is good as Skeens, he's still the best that we're going to see day in and day out. From us major league pitchers. But when these guys were winning early in the year and they were all going 5-6 innings. Bubba was picked up better. You could see it just spreading down the rotation. And I think Keller, lately here, his performance has really dropped. I'm curious to your opinion on that.
It definitely has, Vincent. Thanks for the call, man. But I look at it also like this with Mitch Keller. He's made 13 starts so far this season, and the Pirates are 7-6 in games that he starts. And, one of those was 10-9, and it took a walk-off home run to win, and that was the last start before yesterday, or Friday, and I understand that. But let's not forget that his last start, it would have been his second to last start in the month of May, in Toronto, 6 innings, 1 run, and the Pirates win 4-1. And there's been a couple of those pretty darn good starts this season. The ERA in April was 3.86. However, I'm not going to dismiss anything that anybody feels about Mitch Keller, like Vince or anybody else. I'm just saying that, as far as the recency bias goes with Mitch Keller, yeah, he's not been pitching particularly well. But I don't think all hope is lost with Mitch Keller. And if we're going to talk about some concerns on this Pirates team, I'm not sure I would list Mitch Keller in my top 3 concerns about the Pirates right this very minute. Not completely dismissing the last 2 starts with Keller, but there's stuff in there that could be unlocked, and I hope that it is unlocked. But who the hell knows? We might be at the point now in the season where instead of Mitch Keller collapsing in July, that might be coming in June. I don't know. But he's going to have an opportunity to bounce back at the end of this Dodgers series. And that might be able to springboard him. Who knows? Fan text line brought to you by Edgar Steiner & Associates, personal injury law firm, where they always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. And fan Twitter brought to you by South Hills Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Route 19 in Peters Township. Paul and Chuck, hold on through the break. We'll get to you guys in the Sunday same game parlay when we come back. I'm Jack Hillgrove at Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Now, fan headlines powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Golden Knights were 5-4 double overtime winners over the Carolina Hurricanes, so Vegas has a 2-1 series lead there. Knicks and Spurs will play their next game on Monday night at 8:30 at Madison Square Garden, with New York holding a 2-0 series lead. Pirates last night fell to the Braves 6-3. Final game of the series will be this afternoon at 1:35. Bubba Chandler will take on Bryce Elder. Coverage on The Fan at noon, presented by Keystone Custom Apparel, preceding the Pirates Insider Show at 12:35. Fan headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
I'm Larry Kelly from the injury firm of LGKG. When our fellow Western Pennsylvanians suffer terrible injuries, tragic losses, and immense financial hardships through no fault of their own, who fights for them, Joe?
We do, Larry. That's where LGKG comes in, holding the negligent accountable for the pain and suffering they cause.
History, trust, and results.
And success. More than 200 million recovered and over 10,000 clients served. That's the LGKG story.
At LGKG, we stop at nothing for justice. At LGKG, we try cases, and insurance companies know it.
You want free rewards? Add DraftKings Casino's daily rewards rocket to your orbit. All players get a free reward every day. Launch your rocket up to 3 times daily for a chance at crowns, exclusive flex spins, and even the top prize $5,000 in credits. Head to the DraftKings Casino app and blast off right now to land free rewards. Use them on your favorite casino games, then come back tomorrow and play again. In partnership with DraftKings Casino, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or older, physically present in Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. 3 launches per day for rewards. Launches expire each day at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time. Non-withdrawable rewards and amounts vary per launch and are subject to game and expiration limits. Terms at casino.draftkings.com/promos. Sponsored by DK Crown Holdings Incorporated.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
Centimark provides solutions for commercial roofing and flooring needs, re-roofing to roof repairs to concrete polishing and traffic solutions. While roofing and flooring is the business, giving back to the community is Centimark's commitment. 724-514-8700.
Hey, it's Pony. What if you had the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Thanks to Xfinity's summer savings event, you don't have to worry about that part of your future. Now through June 15th, get gig Wi-Fi for just $50 a month for 5 years with equipment and unlimited data included. No strings, no commitments. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from online threats. Plus, you can even try Xfinity Mobile free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. After 12 months, regular rates apply to Mobile Select. Xfinity Internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber, coaxial cable.
The world's game at BetMGM is here. Bet on the biggest soccer tournament on the globe with an Odds Boost token and no sweat token. An Odds Boost token offers a shot to score a bigger payout if your bet hits. For your no sweat token, you can get your stake back in bonus bets if your wager misses the net. All you need to do is apply the token in your bet slip before placing the wager. You'll also want to get in on BetMGM's same-game parlays, daily promotions, player props, and so much more for the world's game. Boost your potential payout or take the sting out of a loss with your Odds Boost and No Sweat tokens. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. 21 plus to wager. Pennsylvania only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire within 7 days.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Live from the ShorkeyMitsubishi.com studios, North Huntington and North Hills.
Limited edition 2026 Fan 5 Alarm T-shirts are available at KeystoneCustomApparel.com. A portion of the proceeds go to local VFDs. And that Fan 5 Alarm presented by Allegiant Community Federal Credit Union and brought to you by Zero Res Commercial Cleaning and Myers Law Group. It's coming back June 17th and the 18th. The 17th at the Wexford VFD and the 18th at Robinson Town Center. Should be fun. Content Craig gave me a couple of dates and also said we'll space you out at the Fan 5 Alarm. So I look forward to being there in a capacity as well. The Sunday Same Game Parlay in moments, but first, we chat with Chuck in Uniontown. Chuck, it's been a minute. Always good to talk to you, good sir.
Good morning, Jack. There are two ways that you can lose. You can get beat, or you can beat yourself.
Yeah.
For either one, it's going to happen. Variety 2 has to be stopped cold right now, and we have to flip the script as we lost games in the first half that we should have won. We're going to have to steal a few from here on out. It looks like we're going in the L column. Jack, I got to thinking it's this way. We can't be more than 5 games off the division lead. We still have 10 games left from Milwaukee. That's enough to do something about it.
Yeah.
More importantly, we can't fall more than 3 games behind in the wild card race because competition is so fierce. This year, unlike other years, there are so many teams that are involved in a wild card chase. We can't fall more than about 2 or 3 behind. Because right now, are we one of the 3 teams?
Kind of. I don't know. It's so like the Cardinals and the Phillies are a game and a half game better than everybody else. And then the Padres, the Pirates, and the Cubs, because the Padres are 33-30, and the Pirates and the Cubs are both 34-31. So like, yeah, I mean, they're right there. And then like, and you bring up a good point, Chuck, and thanks for the call, because I want to get to Paul in a moment, and then I want to get to the parlay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams in the NL are either in the wild card or within 2 games of the wild card. Cardinals, Phillies, Padres, and then Pirates, Cubs with the same record. The Diamondbacks are a half game back. The Nationals are a game back. The Reds are 2 games back. And then you start to, yes, the Marlins and the Mets are only 4 and 5.5 back of the wild card, but the Marlins are 5 below 500. The Mets are 8 below 500. With those bottom 4 teams, you start to see a little bit more of a gap as far as the NL wild card is concerned, but it is heavily contested. The NL Central is still heavily contested with the exception of the Brewers just kind of separating themselves at this point, and the Cardinals are getting to that point too, right? But as far as the wild card goes, 8 teams within 2 games of each other is ridiculous. And Chuck makes a good point. With it being that heavily contested, you got to start stealing games. And they have an opportunity to steal one and salvage the series today in Atlanta at 1:35. Paul in Washington. What's up, Paul?
Mr. Hillgrove, I thought I was going to lose my mind completely Wednesday night after this whole Carmen Mlodzinski saga.
Yeah.
6 runs up, 2 outs in the 8th inning. Okay? Think of that. 6 runs up, 2 outs in the 8th inning. You need 4 outs. All we heard about was Carmen Mlodzinski was in the bullpen. Carmen Mlodzinski was in the bullpen. Where the hell was Carmen Mlodzinski? I mean, are we playing who? Where's Waldo? I mean, he pitched on Thursday, but it also begs the question, Paul, why was he not available Wednesday? And exactly, Jack. But this goes back to the broader picture. We don't have time for on-the-job training for Don Kelly. He's never managed at any level. He has no idea what he's doing. And if we win 8 of those blown saves, we're either knocking at the door of first place, but we're in way better shape than we are. And can we please play the same lineup for at least 5 games in a row and see exactly where we stand afterwards? Enough of this analytics BS. I'm so tired of analytics.
Well, Paul, it's kind of hard to have a lineup with some continuity when the middle infield is potentially out, for an elongated period of time. I mean, Griffin's been on the IL. Brandon Lau, we're still waiting to see what's going on there. And I understand the gripes with Don Kelly. I have gripes with Don Kelly. But we can't pin these blown saves on the manager. The manager is doing what every manager in baseball does. You hand your save opportunities to the guys who you employ to pitch in save opportunities. Gregory Soto and Dennis Santana. Of the Pirates' 13 blown saves this season, where is the BS category? Why can't I find it? Oh, well. But my point still stands. Of the Pirates' 13 blown saves this season, those opportunities have been handed to Gregory Soto and Dennis Santana, the guys that you employ to be given those save opportunities late in ball games. It's not the manager's fault that the guys who you task with being the late inning relief pitchers aren't doing their jobs correctly. Again, Don Kelly, I've got gripes with him too. Situationally, pinch hitting for Brandon Lau late in ball games once upon a time. Taking guys out, starters out at certain points in the ball game. All of those gripes, you can circle back to the manager. But I'm not going to blame the manager for deploying a closer in the 9th inning when literally that's been done since closers have been invented. It's not Don Kelly's fault that Gregory Soto gave up those 3 runs on Wednesday night, and it's not Don Kelly's fault that Dennis Santana has pitched like crap all season. Oh, well. All right, Joel. How do we want to do the Sunday same game parlay? I appreciate you participating. No disrespect to Sean Myers. He just kind of lets me do it and reacts. So I will give you mine first, and you can do a combination of reacting and giving yours as well.
We've got our ducks in a row. Let's do it.
All right. I also don't want to be that guy, but he also throws like a bet on there too. If you want to fire up a generic bet here. I said this earlier, and I think Bubba Chandler has an opportunity to really turn the tide on his season by pitching in front of his home crowd, and I'm sure people that love him near and dear are in the ballpark at his hometown watching him pitch. Thank you, Jolie. So one of my legs is Bubba Chandler to go over 4.5 strikeouts today. I'm not going to go anywhere else other than the fact that I think Bubba Chandler will strike out over 4.5. I'm not predicting him to have a really, really good start or anything like that, but 4.5 Ks seems reasonable. Bryce Elder also, his strikeout line, 4.5. Didn't feel great about it because for as good as Bryce Elder's been this season, not a strikeout guy. I believe he has 67 on 6-7. Hilarious. Brain rot. 67 strikeouts and 78 2/3 this season. So I go Bryce Elder, tease it down a little bit. Alt Ks 4+. My player I choose to highlight for the Pirates today is Oneil Cruz. Walked 3 times yesterday. I predict Oneil Cruz to record a hit and have a stolen base. Those are 2 separate legs. And I'm not touching a Pirates money line, run line, anything like that. Bryce Elder, in his 3 career starts against the Pirates, has an ERA of 5 and has given up 3 home runs. 10 earned runs in 3 starts against the Pirates in his career. So I am not going to count out the Pirates' opportunity today to score runs, despite Brandon Lau probably being on the shelf today. But I also take into account who's pitching for the Pirates. And Bubba Chandler has not pitched well this season. So I say all that to say this. Over 8.5. I repeat, the Sunday same game parlay, June 7th, 2026. O'Neal Cruz, stolen base. O'Neal Cruz to record a hit. Bubba Chandler over 4.5 strikeouts. Bryce Elder 4+ strikeouts. And the over at 8.5. Last week, I was hungover in Deep Creek, so we did not have a Sunday same game parlay. And then 2 weeks ago when I wasn't on, when they had that Sunday game in Toronto, early game on Peacock, no Sunday shift available, we did not hit. So we're still over on the Sunday same game parlay this season, but I feel good about today, Jolie.
What are the odds of your parlay?
Nothing too crazy. 2853.
Oh my goodness.
You think that's crazy?
You don't duck away from having something crazy bold. All right. Interesting.
Because here's the thing. I bet $10 on these every week.
Sure.
I need to hit one of them to break even all year. So I get a little aggressive. O'Neal Cruz could steal a base today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let me hear yours. Any same legs?
Bryce Elder for 4 strikeouts.
Okay.
That's the one. I went Chandler for 4.
Okay.
And then Nick Gonzalez and Ozzie Albies to each get a hit.
The battle of the second baseman.
Yeah. And then over 6.5 runs to plus 398. So nothing wild like yours. I'm not saying it can't hit, but just, I don't know, playing on a little bit of the safer side a bit. But hey, if yours hits, that's a monster. So
we're going to try our hardest. The only thing that has me a little worried potentially on the overhitting is obviously from the Pirates standpoint and Brandon Lau. Because at the very least, he's probably not going to play today.
Yeah, there's like almost no chance.
So what's the infield look like? You'll probably have Horwitz in there today still. Gonzalez, Triolo, and Tyler Callahan. I mean, that's the infield today,
yeah,
right?
Pretty much, I'd say, yeah.
And you might get O'Hearn, Reynolds, and O'Hearn, Mangum, and Cruz. With Reynolds DHing?
Reynolds DH, yeah. Him or Cruz, yeah.
Because if Cruz DHs today, who plays center field? Mangum? Maybe Garcia? Garcia got the start yesterday,
Yeah, he could. So maybe Mangum then.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
They'll at least try. All right, Jolie. Thank you, kind sir. 93.7 The Fan and the Pirates want to visit your teams in action for a youth baseball softball showcase. Parents and coaches send us an email at youthsports@937thefan.com to register your 12 and under team, and 93.7 The Fan may make a stop to your field. Brought to you by Keystone Custom Apparel. Details at 937thefan.com. Rip my parlay to shreds, tail it, react to it, and the phone lines are open yet again at 412-928-9370. Before we say goodbye, are you still a believer in a potential postseason opportunity for the Pirates despite them losing the first 2 games to one of the NL's best this weekend? 412-928-9370. We'll take your phone calls, and we'll be with you until 10 o'clock right here on Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan.
Now, Fan Headlines, powered by Bowser Chevrolet.
Pirates and Braves this afternoon at 1:35. Bubba Chandler toes the rubber up against Bryce Elder for Atlanta. Coverage on The Fan begins at noon with the North Shore Tavern leadoff show, and that will precede the Pirates Insider Show at 12:35. Fan Headlines are powered by Bowser Chevrolet. For more, go to 937thefan.com.
Catastrophic injuries bring emotional strain, physical pain, and financial stress. You don't have to face it alone. Ogg, Murphy, and Perkoski will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call 412-391-FIRM today. Ogg, Murphy, Perkoski, the firm. We're all in.
A great lawn doesn't happen by accident. It takes the right expertise and the right team. That's why more homeowners trust True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. As the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour, True Green knows what it takes to make grass look like a fairway. Their local specialists analyze your lawn, build a plan, and handle the hard work with routine visits throughout the season. And it's all backed by the True Green Satisfaction Guarantee. Visit TrueGreen.com today to get a golf course quality lawn. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
I finished a 5K in 94th place.
right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards, like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. Unlike that joker in denim. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
Are you ready to take a walk on the wild side and have some family fun? Get to Living Treasures Animal Park in the Laurel Highlands. Living Treasures has animals from all over the world. With over 300 animals you and the family will love. Their concession stand is now open weekends for family fun. Stay at the Log Cabin Suites with up to 6 bedrooms available. Plan your staycation today at funanddonegal.com. Living Treasures Animal Park of the Laurel Highlands, where animals are loved.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Text us on the Edgar Snyder and Associates text line at 412-928-9370. Edgar Snyder and Associates reminds you to text responsibly. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, built by Window Nation, home of the buy two, get two free offer.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important, trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
93.7 The Fan is cleared by aquickdrain.com. We're here so you don't miss a thing.
Turning it up.
Live and local on the weekends. Sports Radio 93.7 The Fan, Pittsburgh's hometown sports station.
Fan weather brought to you by Secure Money Advisors. Looking to retire soon? Let Secure Money Advisors get your retirement on track. Fan weather was great yesterday, but don't tell that to any A-list country music artist or they might cancel their show. What a bozo. I'm going to have a hard time listening to Morgan Wallen from now on after the stunt he pulled in our beloved city this weekend. No takers on any Morgan Wallen rants this morning. Is nobody care, or is everybody over it by now? I guess he did cancel early enough yesterday where people could just blow off steam and drink to cope.
Sure. I guess you have to sort of give him that instead of this being, I don't know, 3, 4 o'clock, people start tailgating that, and then boom, canceled.
We were at a friend's apartment down in the Strip District yesterday, and our plan was go there, go to the tailgate, and then go from there. And we were going to be there from about noon to 2 and then make our way over. And I had buddies that were getting ready to get the tailgate set up and get parked by like 12:30. And they texted us and said that they weren't being let into the parking lot. They got there when the lot's open, and they're like, why aren't you guys letting us in? And the parking lot attendant was like, we're waiting to hear what the word is from the concert. And when they texted and said, just a heads up, they're not letting anybody in because the show might get canceled, I was like, that's a wrap. Saw the writing on the wall from there. And as far as I'm concerned, Morgan Wallen, you could stay the hell away from Pittsburgh after this weekend. My night did turn into me spending a good chunk of it with Dom and Austin, though.
That must have been fun.
I saw Austin from across the way, and Dom walked right in front of me. I hadn't seen Dom since Donnie's wedding. College graduate. Dom DiTommaso. I had a pretty funny one, if I do say so myself, this weekend. It was actually yesterday. Because, Dom's opinion on indoor sports venues. And, of course, when they canceled the concert yesterday, everybody's like, well, if Acrisure Stadium had a retractable roof, or if Pittsburgh had a dome, because that's obviously the incentive, right, to building an indoor sports stadium. Like, that's why the Browns are trying to do what they're doing. That's why I believe the new Nissan Stadium in Nashville has a retractable roof, right? The whole ordeal with the new Soldier Field, which, didn't that news break this weekend? Aren't they moving forward with plans to build the Bears' new stadium in Indiana?
Yeah, in Hammond, Indiana.
Which sucks, but they're going to probably put a retractable roof on that thing. Like, that is the way that it's going. And not only that, like, oh yeah, no duh. Like, if they had a retractable roof, the concert wouldn't get canceled. But you put the roof on the stadium and have a bigger venue because you can host a multitude of things. Final Fours, WrestleManias, concerts don't get canceled. So Dom, of course, and I'm again, to be fully transparent here, I'm of the belief that football in Pittsburgh needs to be played outdoors. And at the very least, the next Pittsburgh stadium should have a retractable roof. A full-on dome would suck. But Dom tweets in all caps, put a dome on Acrisure Stadium. And I just simply quote tweeted, Dome DiTommaso.
I'm going to start calling him that from now on.
And you have to credit me if you do it.
Yes.
Thank you. DPJ in the YouTube chat. Jesus Christ, Jack. Chose to hang out with Dom and Limits. I did not choose to hang out with Dom and Limits. I ran in to Dom and Limits. There is a difference. But I enjoyed my time running into Dom and Limits. Didn't hang out with them on purpose. Again, if you missed the Sunday same-game parlay, Oneil Cruz, stolen base. Oneil Cruz, record a hit. Bubba Chandler, over 4.5 strikeouts. Bryce Elder, 4+ strikeouts. Over 8.5 runs. We haven't hit one yet. Probably won't hit today. But we do it because we have fun. And it's something to talk about. Always shout out to the YouTube chat. Didn't shout out those fine folks yet this morning. Lively and active as always. FanDuel's More Ways to Win Radio with Andrew Filipponi is next. And then the ever sought after Pirates Insider Show at 12:35. Again, all opinions about Ben Cherington aside, objectively, Ben Cherington isn't necessarily Captain Charisma and speaks in about probably one of the most monotone fashions you could ever come up with. But I'm going to be tuned in because there's going to be an update there that could potentially make or break what the Pirates have had going for them all season long, and that is offense. Brandon Lau, what's the verdict? It looked disgusting. It looked like a potential shattered kneecap. I hope that's not what it is. But if it is, we're talking about Brandon Lau potentially being done for the year. And his contract has come up. I think it's fair to question, did we watch Brandon Lau play his last game as a Pirate? That is not how I want to end this program. We have a couple of minutes left. Thank goodness we can end it on a high note. But like Joel, not necessarily a question that I think is out of bounds after yesterday.
This was the biggest move that Ben Cherington made this offseason, that trade involving Tampa Bay and Houston. And while the Ryan O'Hearn signing has been fantastic and he's been playing out of his mind for the Pirates, Brandon Lau has been, I don't know, the team's best hitter this season?
Absolutely.
Probably.
Pound for pound, like all aspects of it, yeah.
And so if he's not going to be playing again for a good extensive period, it's going to be tough. And so credit where credit is due for Ben Cherington for pulling off that heist of a trade and getting Brandon Lau, because boy, it could be a tough watch at times not getting to see him play ball for however much he might miss.
Let's hope for a bone bruise and a short stint on the IL for Brandon Lau. Keeping our fingers crossed that it's nothing too crazy. But hopefully, I mean, we might not even get an update. But if there is one, Ben Cherington will provide one on his radio program with Jason Mackey at 12:35. That's before the 1:35 first pitch between the Braves and the Bucks. Bryce Elder against Bubba Chandler, pitching in his hometown. You'll be able to listen to it right here on 93.7 The Fan at 1:35. FanDuel's More Ways to Win Radio with Andrew Filipponi is next. Jolie, good sir, thank you for your time and effort this morning. I appreciate it.
Likewise, Jack. Good to be back again.
Ponies next. Bucks and Braves at 1:35. We'll talk to you soon on 93.7 The Fan. Jack Hillgrove saying, see ya.
Your hometown building partner since 1956, 84 Lumber. Visit 84lumber.com.
Summer is heating up, and there's a brand new Chevrolet dealer in Latrobe. Welcome to the family at Smale Chevrolet. Ready to hit the road? Take advantage of their hottest deal yet. 0% financing for 5 years on all new 2026 Silverado light-duty trucks. 0% for 5 years. Your perfect ride is waiting, from rugged Silverados to family-ready SUVs. Visit them on Route 30 or shop 24/7 online at smalechevrolet.com in Latrobe. Must finance through GM Financial. Not all will qualify. Ends July 7th. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Have you or a loved one recently needed nursing home care? This can be very expensive, and you could lose your life savings without proper planning. The attorneys at Julian Gray Associates have helped thousands of families navigate these difficult situations. Visit grayelderlaw.com.
Are you passionate about youth hockey but facing financial barriers? The Assisted Goals Foundation helps to provide funds for those who need it. We believe that every player deserves a shot at their dreams, regardless of financial circumstances. Scholarship applications are now open through the Assisted Goals Foundation. Don't let costs keep your child from hitting the ice. Visit our website, assistedgoals.org, to learn more and apply today. Together, we can break down the barriers and keep the love of hockey alive. Not in need, but love the sport and want to pay it forward? You can also donate online at assistedgoals.org today.
Summer is in full swing and the action is heating up at BetMGM Casino. Soak up the season with nonstop excitement and play wherever you are. New players can jump in with a 100% deposit match up to $1,000 plus $25 on the house when you sign up using bonus code HOMETOWN. From spinning exclusive slots under the sun to thrilling live dealer games after dark, there's always something happening. Your favorite casino games are just a tap away, giving you the freedom to play anytime, anywhere. Download the BetMGM Casino app today and make every moment count this season. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, help is available. Call 1-800-GAMBLER. BetMGM.com for T's and C's. Must be 21 and over to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. All promotions are subject to qualification and eligibility requirements. Rewards issued as non-withdrawable site credits and/or bonus bets unless otherwise provided and applicable.